Hello everybody, Liberty for Life here, bringing us a brand new video, and today we have a Galaxy Photon deck profile featuring the new support that came out in Photon Hypernova. This is something that I've been really looking forward to. Galaxy Photon got a lot of good support and is now a lot more playable. Is it a rogue deck? I really wouldn't really... I don't know. I'm very mixed. It's got a lot of good new tools and options and stuff going for it, but I still feel like it has a hard time in maintaining that advantage. Now, you can still pull an OTK out of nowhere, but if you want to do OTKs, there is also, of course, good old Cyber Dragons and stuff. And I don't know. I just think there are other decks that can do it better, but I can't dismiss the fact that I really like this deck. It's also got, of course, now it's got extra deck ripping with the new Galaxy 100 continuous spell and all that fun stuff. So anyways, let's just get on with it. This is my build, and it's something that I've been really enjoying with my deck testing. So first and foremost, we got 3 Galaxy, and I keep flip-flopping between 2 and 3 of him. Right now I'm playing 3 because he is one of your main combo enablers, both for first turn and especially more for mid to late game. But however, typically speaking, what you do is you are able to get your monsters on board super easy, and then you normal summon this guy, bring out a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from your graveyard, go into a rank 8. This, along with some of the other free rank 8s, free level 8s I should say, in the deck, make it so that you can easily and very quickly swarm the board with multiple rank 8s. Moving on, I do have 3 Galaxy Eyes Afterglow Dragon. I almost called it alternative. It basically is Galaxy Eyes alternative. This guy, if you control Galaxy Eyes, you can special summon it from your hand. If you detach it as Xyz material, you can basically special summon a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from your deck, and then your number gets like double attack points and stuff. I'll be honest, that secondary effect doesn't come up too often. It does help the OTK, especially with the new rank 9. The main thing is that's another free level 8 body on board that you can go into to make your good old Xyz plays and stuff. Now, just to say, speaking of good old original Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, I do only play 2 of him, and for good reason. The original Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon might as well as be a vanilla by modern standards. It does have the really cool effect of being able to dodge like battle traps and do other shenanigans in the battle phase, but that's not super relevant anymore. And so, really, most of the time, you're just using him as a means to an end. So, like, for instance, summoning it off of Afterglow, summoning it while with Galaxy Knight, stuff like that. It's just like, there's no real reason to play 3 of it. I could see an argument, but I don't think there is right now. At least not a compelling one for me. Next up, we got 3 Galaxy Soldier. This is arguably like one of the best cards in the deck. Pitch a Light, special summon it. On special summon, get to search out another Galaxy monster. It goes without saying. Next up, we got 3 Photon Thrasher. This is a free special summon on your turn, on your turn, provided you got no monsters on board. So you don't care if your opponent has a monster or not. So it is even better than like for instance with like Cyber Dragon and Cyber Dragons and stuff. But however, what makes this really good is that you pair it up with your other free extender, Vanisher. Well, I guess this is a starter, and Vanisher is the extender, who, if you control a Photon or Galaxy, you can plop it on the board, and then you get to add a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from your deck to your hand. The big thing, of course, is that you want to do this while you got Thrasher out, so you can go for a rank 4 or a rank 2. All that fun stuff. Next up, we do got 3 Galaxy Wizards. Wizard and Knight are only 2 like primary normal summons. There are a couple others I do play, but these 2 are our main ones that we really want to worry about. Wizard can become a level 8, or you can tribute it, search out a Galaxy or Photon card. Really just comes down to whichever situation you have more preferable at that moment. Next up, I got 2 Photon Advancer. I keep flip-flop between 2 and 3 of this guy, but he is basically just another Vanisher. if you control a Photon monster, or sorry, if a Photon monster is on the board, so if you're in the mirror match, you can just plop it on the field, and then while you got another one out, it's got 1,000 extra attack points. The attack buff doesn't come up too often, but it can help with OTKs if you really need it, but most of the time you don't need it. He's just another name to go into stuff a bit easier. Next up, I got 2 Photon Orbital. This is another card that I keep flip-flopping between 2 and 3 of. I'm going with 2 right now because I feel like it's a little bit less consistent than some of the other searchers. Photon Orbital has the effect where you can equip it onto one of your Galaxy or Photons from your hand onto it as an equip card. It gets like 500 attack points. Yeah, and it cannot be destroyed by battle. Big whoop. The bigger thing is that you can send this guy while he's equipped onto a dude to search out any Photon or Galaxy monster from your deck to your hand. So he can't always search for monsters, he can't search for spells and traps and all that stuff. Honestly, I think that he's only really a good 2 of, because if you open him and no one else, which has happened, it's like, or you got like no other way of getting anybody on board. Like if you open him with like some level 8s and like Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, it's like, oh, okay, my hand's dead. You gotta be able to equip him onto somebody. Next up, for a 1 of, we have a Photon Emperor. This guy, if he's sent from hand or deck to graveyard, let's see here, yeah, if it's sent to the graveyard, except from the field, so if it's detached as well. While another Photon or Galaxy is on the field or in your graveyard, you can special summon this card in defense position, and then it lets you get an extra normal summon. This card is really good, but you only ever need 1 of it because its effect is capable of going off multiple times off the same copy. But however, not in the same turn, obviously, because it's a hard once per turn. But the big thing is that like you dump it with like Galaxy 100, you special summon it, you use it as Xyz material, and then okay, you detach it in like another turn, and then Photon Emperor comes back. So really good card all around, gives you that extra normal summon as well. I don't like playing more than 1 of them because when I did, I would draw into multiples and it sucked. Next up, we got 1 Galaxy Summoner and 1 Galaxy Cleric. These are the other 2 normal summons that I kind of mentioned. Both of these have really good effects, both on summon and also elsewhere. So, a Galaxy Cleric on summon lets you shuffle 5 Photon and or Galaxy cards with different names in your graveyard, draw 2 cards. Really nice right there, and then you can also attach itself to one of your Photon or Galaxy monsters as Xyz material. Just some nice recursion, and in archetype Pot of Avarice is really nice, and then also getting more material is always wonderful. Summoner, as the name implies, he's basically a knight, Galaxy Knight, where on summon or special summon, you can target a Photon or Galaxy, except a copy of itself. Special summon it in defense position, and then you can target another light monster to make its level become 4. So he is kind of like a Galaxy Knight, but can trigger on special summon as well, and then can also make another one of your lights a level 4, which can be handy in certain circumstances. Next up, I got 2 Ash as my only 2 like monster hand traps. We do play 3 Impermanence as another hand trap, but we will get to that when we get to it. 2 Ash, it kind of goes without saying, you can cram in a 3rd one pretty easily into this deck, so, but just for now, 2 is what I'm going with, because this is a combo deck and it can't like fit in a crap ton of hand traps. That's our monster lineup. Moving on to our spells, we got 3 Galaxy Expedition. We want to see this card as soon as possible. This card, if you control a level 5 or higher Galaxy or Photon, you special summon a level 5 or Galaxy or Photon from your deck. It's a hard once per turn. Very good card. It's just a big play enabler. Gets us to have our bricks not in our deck anymore, so we don't draw into them. Can also be, you can also use it for some very cheeky plays. Like there have been times where like I don't draw a Galaxy Soldier, but like I want to get his search effect, so I will do my plays normally, and then I don't need another rank 8. I mean, I don't need another level 8, so I'll just use this, summon Photon, Galaxy Soldier, special summon from deck, effect on summon, search. Really, really nice. Next up, we got probably the biggest buff of the deck, other than the new big rank 9, Galaxy 100. On activation, you can send a Galaxy or Photon monster from your deck to the graveyard. So right off the bat, that's a Fool's Burial, which is just wonderful. Which is something that the deck really, really, really needed. because especially with the new Photon Emperor or Galaxy Emperor, don't remember off the top of my head which it was the name of it. Basically, you know, the one that dumps and then special summons. Really good card all around just for that. But then it's got a bonus effect where whenever you summon a Galaxy-Eyes Photon Dragon, you can activate the effect to look at your opponent's extra deck and then either special summon a number Xyz from it onto your field, or to banish a card out of your opponent's extra deck. This is a really good effect that can trigger anytime a Galaxy-Eyes Photon Dragon is special summoned. It can trigger during your opponent's turn, can trigger during your turn. You can only do it once, and you can't get both effects. Yeah, you cannot get both. You can only do one or the other. But the big thing, of course, is the extra deck ripping. And I've noticed that extra deck ripping is something that more and more decks are getting. And getting this in the deck is just really good, because let's say you do take this to tournament, and you're doing against like Kashtira or something, and you go in first. Well, for one thing, let's say you don't even know if you're doing against Kashtira. You activate this, you do your thing, you summon out your Galaxy-Eyes Photon Dragon, you use its effect to look at your opponent's extra deck to banish something, and you see, oh, I'm doing against Kashtira. I don't want to get Diablosis. Bye-bye. You know, so really good card all around just for that right there. I love it. I want more decks to get stuff like this where, oh, you do the boss monster? Cool, I get bonus effects. Next up, we got triple trade-in. We are playing a bunch of level 8s. Trade-in is really good. Just, you know, draw power. 2 Photon Sanctuary, because this card is just phenomenal. You get 2 free tokens that you can do whatever you want with them. So, yeah, you know, use them for a link summon, use them for going in, like, for tribute fodder, stuff like that. Wonderful card. 1 Galaxy Zero for the Monster Reborn effect for more comboing. 1 Rhoda to search out our level 4 warriors, which we have 8 copies that we can choose from. Photon Thrasher, Vanisher, and Advancer are all warriors, so Rhoda is very good for that. And then we're just going to go straight into our traps. We are only playing 3 Infinite Impermanents. I was testing out Tachyon Transmigration, but I ended up dropping it because it's still not being searchable. Really makes it I mean, it's great when you see it, but it's not when you don't. It's just so sad, and I really wish that they would give us a way to search Tachyon Transmigration already. That, and also that Tachyon Trap Hole, or whatever the heck it's called. I don't think it is a trap hole, but the Tachyon other normal trap card that, oh, your Tachyon leaves the field, banish everything your opponent controls. It's a really funny card. Unfortunately, neither one of them are searchable, so we're sticking only with Infinite Impermanence as our other trap, as our only trap, and as a really good hand trap. Now, onto the extra deck. Oh boy. Getting winded. 1 Galaxy-Eyes Soulfire Dragon. I keep flip-flop between 1 and 2 of this guy. I feel like 1 is good. You don't really need a second one, and if you do really need it, you can always shuffle it back with Cleric. So it needs 2 light monsters, including a monster with 2,000 or more attack points. On summon, you get to target a Photon or Galaxy in your graveyard, add it back to your hand. During your opponent's turn, as a quick effect, you can discard 2 cards that are Photon or Galaxies. You can discard 1 Photon card and 1 Galaxy card. Wait, doesn't have to really be... Okay, it has to be 1 of both. I always thought it could be either or. Wow, okay. Anyways, 1 Photon, 1 Galaxy card to target 1 special summon monster your opponent controls, destroy it. Or you can discard 1 Galaxy-Eyes Photon Dragon. Really good card all around. You mainly use it for link climbing into Nightmare Unicorn. You can also play Axis Go Talker to keep the link climbing up. But anyways, you just kind of use it for that kind of stuff. Speaking of, I do play 1 Unicorn for board picking apart. And that's it for the links. The links aren't super relevant in this deck. You can play more very easily, and in fact my extra deck is super weird because I really like trying to play as many of the Galaxy rank 8s as possible, but you can easily adapt and change it, and it's something that I've always kind of debated on myself. Anyways, 1 Abyss Dweller to stop graveyard effects, 1 Starly's Photon Blast Dragon. This guy on summon can summon a Let's see here. Photon monster from your hand. I really wish it was a galaxy as well, but LL. And then you can detach a material during your opponent's turn. Target one of your Photon dragons as banished from the graveyard. Special summon it, which can of course trigger 100 Galaxy 100 continuous effect to, well, good old banish a card out of your opponent's graveyard. Not graveyard, extract. Not only that, but also while it has material, your opponent can't target monsters you control more than 2,000 attack for card effects, which is just wonderful all around. We have the new Xyz Galaxy Photon Dragon. This thing is amazing. It just needs 2 level 4 monsters to go into. You detach a material, search out any Galaxy or Photon, I believe it's card. You can... Yeah, any Galaxy or Photon card. And you can either add it to your hand or send it to graveyard. And then if a light monster is summoned, you get to have that monster gain... No. It can become a level 4 or level 8. So there's that. It's just a really good card all around. You mainly use it for the detach and search, and then that's about it. We got one number 90 Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. I really want to play 2 of this guy, but for the life of me, I cannot find a second copy. So, oh well. Anyways, this guy has a few different effects. It needs 2 level 8s to go into. You can detach a material during your opponent's turn to get a search for a Galaxy or Photon card, or you can attach that card to it as material. And also, once a turn, during your opponent's turn, no wait, even during your turn, once per turn, as a quick effect, when your opponent activates a monster effect, you can detach material from this card, negate that effect, and if it was a Galaxy card that you detached, you also destroy it. And then while it's got material, if it has a Photon card as material, it cannot be destroyed by card effects. This card's really good all around and is a great monster negate and pairs really well with Hope Harbinger as the spell negate. Just great cards all around. Generally speaking, if you're going first, you want to get out these 2. And so you got a spell negate, and you got your monster negate, and then you don't got to worry about anything. Speaking of, Hope Harbinger is another 1 of in the deck. I don't think 2 is super necessary, although I do see the argument for it if you really, really want to play 2. Moving on, I cannot pick that up for the life of me. Okay. We got one Dingirusu, the Orchest of the Evening Star. Mostly for its on-summon effect to send a card to graveyard. And then also, of course, it can protect your stuff as well. Really good rank 8 all around. One Divine Dragon Knight Felgrand for monster negates. It's another one. If you are lucky to have a number 90, 2 of them, I would switch out Felgrand for another one, although I do see people argue that like playing Felgrand might be better in certain circumstances, because Felgrand also makes stuff, it can be used as a defensive or as an offensive option. So Felgrand, as a quick effect, detach material, target a monster in the field, negate its effects, but it's unaffected by other card effects for the turn. So you can use its effect to target like your boss monster and protect it, or you can use it as a defensive card to like negate an opponent's monster, but then you aren't going to be able to like, you know, affect it with anything else. One number 107 Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon, because this thing can just swing for game super easy. If you don't know, at the start of your battle phase, you can detach material, negate all their card effects on the field, and I don't believe it's until the end of the turn. No, it is not. All their monsters on the field have their effects negated permanently, and then also their stats are returned to their originals. If your opponent activates a effect, is it any effect or is it, no? Yeah, any card effect during the battle phase of the turn that was activated, it gets an additional 1,000 attack points and can make a second attack. So, unfortunately, it only gets 1 additional attack if your opponent, like, let's say, activates 3 cards. But if your opponent activates 3 cards in the battle phase, you will get 3,000 more attack points and 1 additional attack. So, it is a really good card. I know some people really don't like it, but hey, for it being a mass board negate, which is the main thing that I use it for, I really like that. Because, oh, my opponent made a big board of stuff. Okay, make this battle phase detach. Cool. Oh, you tried to activate something in chain. Cool. I still get everything negated. Really good card all around. That being said, I do know some people really don't like it, so if you don't really care for it, switch it out for another Hope Harbinger. That's like one of the better ones to go for as well. One Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon. This thing is a meanie, especially with all the extra Xyz monsters running around. So you detach material, target a monster your opponent controls, steal it. Its stats become Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragons, and then its name becomes Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon as well. And that's cool and all, but your opponent gets it back at the end phase. Well, if you stole an Xyz monster, or well, anything really, because it does not specify, and it has to be a Xyz monster. Whatever you steal, you can just plop and turn into Galaxy Eyes Cypher X Dragon, and then your opponent doesn't get it back. So the general play is, oh, my opponent's got like the big Kashtira Rise Heart or Sangara Era. Okay, detach, steal, make this on top of the guy I just stole. That's what you mainly use Cypher X Dragon for. It doesn't even have like all that great of like an effect. You detach two materials and your stuff can't be targeted by card effects. Yeah, your opponent cannot target light monsters you control with card effects and until the end of your opponent's turn. And then also during the standby phase, you can turn a rank 9 or lower Xyz monster from your graveyard to the X deck. Then you can spell summon that monster from your X deck using this monster as material. So it does have that as well, so you can just return something and go into Cypher X and then turn it into that. So if your opponent did kill like your Hope Harbinger or your Felgrand or any of your other guys, you can return them to the extra deck during the standby phase and then turn Galaxy Eyes Cypher X into that monster, which is really cool. The other alternative is if you did steal an Xyz monster, you can plop Galaxy Eyes Full Armor Photon Dragon on top of it. This guy has a few different effects. Most notably, he can also use a Xyz Galaxy Eyes Xyz monster as material. You can detach your material to pop a card, and then he has an effect involving equip cards that you will never ever use. I don't know why they gave it that effect. I'm sure it has something to do with the manga where this guy is from, because if you look at the Galaxy Photon archetype, I think they have one equip card, if that. And then finally, to round it out, we got number 62 and his new Chaos number 62. Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon and Neo Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon. These are the big boys that you are going to be using to swing for game most of the time. If you're going second and your opponent doesn't have a lot of disruptions or you're able to fight through them and stuff, going for this is your main way of winning. So number 62 was already a powerhouse in of itself, being able to detach material and then gain the attack. Attack points equal to the combined ranks of all Xyz monsters on the field, including itself. So just by itself, it's rank 8, that's 1600, that's 5600. You got another rank 8, that's another 1600, so that's 3200, so that's 7200. It piles up very quickly, but it gets even crazier if you're dueling against another Xyz focused deck, like for instance Kashtira, where, oh hey, Shingra Era is a rank 7. This guy now gets 1400 off of Shingra Era just being on the board. But it gets even better now because of number C62, Neo Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon. So you can Xyz summon it by plopping it on top of the original, and it's got a lot of effects. Let's see here. You can detach material from this card to make it be able to attack up to 3 monsters during the battle phase. If it has Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon as material, so not even like Prime Photon, if it just has the original Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon as material, it gains the following effects. Unaffected by your opponent's monster effects, and gains attack equal to combined levels and ranks of its materials attached to it. So this thing gets very beefy, very easily, and is just incredibly powerful. If your opponent doesn't know what Galaxy Photon does, and they're just waiting till you get to your big boss, and then you make this guy, and then they're like, okay, I'm gonna Rise, oh wait, I can't Rise Heart Banish it, because it's unaffected by monster effects. This thing is insanely powerful, and I just absolutely love it for the deck. It is the deck's new gold standard boss monster for closing out the OTK. Even if you do detach a material, assuming you have, let's just say 2 Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragons underneath a Prime Photon, or more than likely it's going to be Afterglow and a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon under Prime, you detach a material saying it's Afterglow or something. Well, that's still 1,600 per. That's 3,200. So it gains the levels, and it's just so stupid. And was it 200 or no? It's 100. Darn. Okay, so yeah, that's only 1,600. I thought it was 200 like the original. Good lord. So yeah, just able to make it super beefy and everything, and detach, swing 3 times, game. And of course, being unaffected by monster effects, very, very, very powerful. So that is everything. I love this deck so much, and it getting some new support very much made me happy. I still don't know if this deck is like one that I would take to a tournament above locals. This format, it feels really loosey-goosey because of just how many random rogue decks are doing really well. And so maybe someone could take Galaxy Photon to a tournament and do well with it, but it comes down to your opponent not knowing what the heck this deck does and not knowing what the new boss does. So, yeah, I'm very mixed on whether or not this deck can do well, but irregardless, I still love this deck so much. It is such a fun deck and just has so much power and potential to it, and I really hope Konami doesn't give up on giving it support. So what do you guys think? Thank y'all for watching. Have a great day. Rate, comment, and subscribe, and see y'all later. Peace out. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do consider rating, commenting, and subscribing. Sharing the video helps as well. If you especially really like it, please do consider being a channel member. Every little bit helps out. And hey, also why not check me out on my other social media pages. Thank you, and have a great day.